Hey, it's Mercedes here. And in today's video, we're going to talk about a topic that I get questions about constantly, and that is sibling relationships. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can set realistic expectations for your siblings and their relationship. Let's jump right in. Of all the topics that I get asked about as a parent coach, one that comes up time and time again is how to create healthy sibling relationships. So in this video, I really want to get into 3 ways that you can really understand what it means to have a healthy relationship between your siblings. The first way is to really help them establish their own identity. The important part of that is that when each sibling feels like they are a separate person and a separate entity from their siblings and their family unit, they actually have more empathy for their siblings' differences and their siblings' different personalities. When we encourage siblings to always hang out, when we encourage siblings to always do things together, we don't help them establish strengths and weaknesses of their own identity, which means they don't have any space to understand or empathize with their siblings' strengths or weaknesses. So it's really going to be important that no matter what's going on in their relationship, that you really help each sibling, whether it be 2 kids, 3 kids, 4, 5, and then some, really help each of those kids to establish who they are, good and bad, pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses. That way, as they begin to identify their own, they can have that empathy and that space to see that their siblings also are different. The second tip, and it's really important, but I also know that it's really difficult to do when you see your siblings engage in conflicts, is to never referee. The best thing that you can do when siblings begin to have conflicts and begin to have disagreements is to set some boundaries by letting them know that there's no fighting or there's no name calling. However, you don't want to be the referee. You want to give them tools so that way they can figure it out on their own. Encourage them to sit and talk to each other. Encourage them to say, hey, if you don't like that, tell your sibling what you want. If you do like that, tell your sibling what you do want. But really have them go back and try to figure it out on their own and let them know that if they need help, you'll be there to help. But you want to give them some time to really go back and think, how can I actually deal with this conflict or this disagreement with my sibling? The third tip, and it's probably one that goes in line with not refereeing, as well as helping your siblings to really find their own unique identities. And that's to really understand that there are ups and downs in every relationship, and that just because siblings are a family unit or within the same family, it doesn't mean that they always have to like each other. I think sometimes we forget that when we're talking to our siblings. We really want them to get along and we really want them to understand that they're a family and they have to be together. But really giving them a healthy space to say, it's okay for you not to like your siblings sometimes. It's okay not to want to be around them sometimes. That's a healthy part of every relationship. The more we give our kids that space to say, I have feelings, I don't always want to go with my sibling, or I don't always want to be with my sibling, the more we give them space to do that, the more likely they'll want to come together, hang out with their sibling for a while, once or twice, and then move away and have their own space. And like I said, I think that goes in line with the first 2 tips, which were that siblings have their own identity and you want to help facilitate that, as well as not refereeing. The more you can give siblings really healthy understandings of what it looks like to have a relationship with another human being, the more likely they will begin to incorporate those tools and those skills in their relationship with their sibling. So I'm just going to do a quick recap. The first tip is to help and acknowledge each child's separate identity. That allows them to be more empathetic to you and your separate identities, as well as to their siblings. The second one is to never referee. You definitely want to get in if there's some physical things going on, but if they're just having a verbal sparring or they're not really getting along, really encourage that they go back and help each other try to figure it out. And if they need help, then they can come and get you. And the third one is to really help your children identify that there's a healthy kind of fluctuation up and down in every single human relationship, and that just because they're siblings, it doesn't mean they have to always like each other. I really hope that these 3 tips will help you as you help your siblings develop really healthy relationships. Thanks. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you want to learn more about me, Mercedes, and my parent coaching, go to my website, theparentingscale.com. On the site, you'll learn more about what I do, who I am, and you'll get free resources to help you discover and unlock your unique parenting powers. I'll see you on the site. Thanks.